Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm going to be doing a jumble of everything. I'm going to be showing my KnitCrate, and I'm going to be doing the podcast, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a update. And what I have to show is really short anyway, so I'll just cram it into one video, and that way I can just get it done and posted. So I'm going to start off with KnitCrate, and then I have some new items, and then I'll get into projects, and then into a little bit of an update at the very end. So if you're not interested in that, you can go ahead and click off after I'm done with the projects. So this month's KnitCrate, I have had it for a little while. I just have not had time to film anything, so I wanted to go ahead and share it now. So this is June's KnitCrate. I was very pleased with it this month because it's finally a different color other than blue or brown. So that's what the book looks like. And you'll have to excuse me, I am a little sniffly today. We've been having such weird weather that my sinuses are just in upheaval because of it. So the patterns for this month are, the knit pattern is Rose of Lavender. So that's very pretty. It does have a bit of cabling to it and some open lattice work. So I think that might be a little too advanced for me to be able to do, but it's very pretty. So that was the knit pattern. So the crochet pattern is Golden Afternoon, Scarf or Cow. So it looks like that. It's definitely some different textures in there. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but this picture, it shows different textures going different ways, so that's definitely a different pattern. It's very pretty though. And then it goes into the sock pattern, which is for this month. So as I've said before, I really love that they're doing these little booklets so you don't have to go on and print the patterns off. I just collect them in my my pattern stash, so that's nice. So onto the yarn, which is very pretty this month. It's a peachy orange, and it's Vidalana, and the colorway is Tiger Lily. 48% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, and 32% organic cotton. Now that is definitely a different combination. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody putting wool and cotton together, so, but it is very soft. So of course you get two of those. Very pretty. It is a bit tonal. It's darker in some areas and lighter in others, but very pretty peachy pink. Oh, and it's, sorry, I didn't read the rest of it. It's a DK weight, 274 yards, 100 grams. So, very pleased with this. Very happy to be able to have a different color other than browns and blues, which is what I normally get. I have got a few other colors, like I got like a couple variegated colors and some greens and some pinks, and I think I got, I'm looking at them, sorry, they're right there on that shelf. But for the majority, it is very much browns and blues that I've received from them. So I'm glad that they're finally getting into some color, because I much rather work with color than neutral tones. That's just me. So very happy that they're getting into some brighter you know, more vibrant colors. So the last thing in the box is a little measuring tape. Very cute. It's got a little village scene on it. And this is fabric. So this is one of the little push button round measuring tapes, but they've obviously covered in fabric, which is really cute. It looks like it might be a snowy scene. At least that's what I'm getting off of it. It's very pretty though. And I have recently broke mine like this. After a while, this little tab thing breaks off. So once that happens, if you're lucky enough to be able to catch it before the tab breaks off, you can, you know, attach something else. So I have tape attached, stapled to mine so it won't retract in, because if not, it'll retract all the way in. So I definitely need a new one, so that's really nice to have, and I'll be putting that directly into my crochet notions bag. So that is KnitCrate for this month. Once again, I'm sorry it's late. Things have just been kind of crazy in my life, and now that my youngest is out of school for the summer, it's, you know, it's even harder for me to film. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get into new items. I do have a few because it has been a little while since I have filmed. I am hoping to be able to try and get back on track with things, but I will get into that in at the end when I talk a little bit about what's been going on. Nothing, like, you know, dramatic or anything. Just I wanted to kind of go over with you guys a little bit why I've not been filming as often as I used to, and all of that. So I'll get into that in the end. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the fabric that my husband got me. It's really cute. So he got me 3 yards, and it's this really cute anchor and like old-time pirate wheel fabric. And it's white and has gray stripes on it. So he got me 3 yards of it, so that should be enough to make something with, even if it's just a little simple skirt or something. But he found it on clearance, and my husband's a boat lover, so he was very drawn to this and thought that I would like it. So he grabbed me 3 yards of it. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. He also grabbed me another thing of thread, just in case I didn't have any, so that's always nice. I did get all of that clearanced thread, and then I got one of those big thread box things for Christmas, so I'm not really in need of thread, but it's always nice to have, especially white and black. So he got me white to match just in case. I believe that was at Walmart. And then just the other day we were in there and they had, you know, we go in and scan the clearance section, and normally my Walmart doesn't put clearance in their like actual clearance aisle, but this time they did, and my husband was in there. We were getting something else, and we just kind of walked down the aisle looking for, you know, kind of crafty things for my youngest daughter to do during the summer. She likes to craft, so we try and find her projects and stuff. So he's been buying, every now and then, buying her those different box kits that you can, you know, do stuff with. And we came across these, so I snatched the ones that they had, at least the ones I thought that I would use. They had a whole bunch of knitting needles, a variety of different sizes. They had whole kits and all of that, but I really am not doing a whole lot of knitting, and a lot of them were like this, the old style, very long knitting needles, and I have all of Grandma's vintage ones. I have a whole bucket full sitting right there where I just got this from, in every size, so I don't need them. But they did have a whole bunch of those, and they had a couple different sets of bamboo knitting needles, the shorter ones, and I have a set of those too, so I didn't go ahead and get those. If it had been something that I hadn't had, I've been looking for a sock needle, a 9-inch circular, but they didn't have any of those, so I just passed on the knitting needles, and I did grab the crochet hooks that they did have. So the first ones were this set. They're all by Boy, and this was $2, and it's the jumbo crochet hooks, so it's a size 11.5 millimeter and 15.75 millimeter, and I don't have any large hooks. I do have the P hook. I do have one of those, but I don't have anything larger than that. So I thought I would go ahead and grab it for $2. That's a great deal. They are plastic, and I don't mind working with plastic, so I'll be adding these to my crochet hooks over there. They had a full set of the plastic crochet hooks, so it's size 4.25 millimeter all the way up to 6.5, and they were $3.50. So that is the range of crochet hooks that I use most of the time. I rarely ever use anything smaller than that, but I thought I would go ahead and grab them because I always need more, 5 millimeters and 5.5, so $3.50 for that. And then they had these, and they only had it in one size, which I wish they'd had more, but they didn't. So these are the Tunisian crochet hooks. They look like this. I only have one more of these that I got. I don't think that I have it here close by, but I have one that I inherited from Grandma. And this is a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I want to learn how to Tunisian crochet, but I haven't had the hook for it, and I haven't wanted to learn enough to be able to go out and buy all of this, in a set, or all of the supplies for it. But it was on clearance. I paid $2 for it, so I have it now. I wish it was a 5 or a 5.5 millimeter, but it's a 6.5. I really don't know anything about Tunisian crochet, so I don't know whether the sizes are the same as regular crochet. I would think that they were, but I don't know. So I grabbed it just in case because it was cheap. So those are all the crochet hooks. The next things are some yarn that I found at Dollar Tree, actually. So I walked into Dollar Tree, and they had, they have the little display right in front of the things that they're displaying for that week. So these were on it. They're Red Heart Boutique sachets, and I don't mind working with sachet, but I mean, you can only use it for so many things because it is that net type of yarn. But what I thought that it might be, good for is maybe finding a similar color in regular yarn, because I was telling you guys towards the beginning of the year that I wanted to work on some crochet skirts, so I thought that this might be an easier way to add like ruffles to a skirt. So I grabbed 3 of them. I hope that's enough. If not, I'll have to make do, because they're gone now. I think I got that last week. So I grabbed 3 of the purple, which says Icy Paris, but it's kind of a purple with lighter blues in it, and of course it sparkles and all of that. And then I got this one, which is the Sachet Team Spirit, and it just says golden black, and this just screamed Hufflepuff to me, so I had to get it because I am a Hufflepuff. So I grabbed 2 of them. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't think that I'll make a ruffle scarf, but maybe I'll add a ruffle to a cowl or something with it. And like I said, it just screamed Hufflepuff to me, so I had to go ahead and grab them. They did have a couple other colors, but these are just the ones that I went ahead and grabbed. Since I don't use sachet that much, I'd have to actually try and find something to use it for. So the last thing we found at a yard sale this past weekend, and I've never seen it before, but I'm sure it's been around for a while if I found it at a yard sale. So it's Fashion Angels, and it is a weaving loom. So it looks like that. And we paid $2 for it at a yard sale. So I figure for $2, you know, it's worth a try. It does have everything in it but the needle. So I thought that maybe this might be something my daughter would like to do. I don't know if she's going to have the patience to do it, but we'll see. And I've always wanted a weaving loom, so this is a good start. So for $2, you know, it's definitely worth it for that, considering that was probably at least $25 brand new. So that is all of my new items. I'm going to jump right into the projects that I've been working on, which is not a whole lot. I had hoped that I would had that sunflower top done by now, but I haven't. So I did one more square on it. That's about as far as I've gotten. Since it's been a while. This is the sunflower granny square top that I've been working on. I'll try and insert a picture here if I can remember to do that, but I only made one more square. So I think I have I have one more square to do, and then I can seam it together and make the straps and do the fringe, and then it will be done. Yeah, so I was hoping I would have had more, I was hoping I would have had that done, but I haven't been working on it. So the next one is, I started because it kind of took priority over everything else because I kind of needed this for the house. So this is going to be a crochet mat. It's going, a while back my husband got this rather large, rather thick piece of like packing styrofoam. You know, the sheets. It's flexible and it moves, and he had a part or something wrapped in it, and I've been using that as a mat at the kitchen sink. So we don't have a dishwasher. I wash all the dishes by hand, so I've been using that as a mat at the kitchen sink, and I wanted to make a cover for it. So I decided to go ahead and crochet one using what I had on hand, which I'm using those scrap cakes that I made. They look like this. So what I did was I took all of my green scraps and I rolled them into cakes, and that's what all of these are that you can see over here. They're all scrap cakes. So I wanted to use the green, so I went ahead and did that. And I wanted it to be a little thicker so it would crochet up faster and also be more cushy. So I'm holding the scrap cake together with the Crafter's Secret jelly bean. So I have this whole one, and then I have a partial skein, which was probably a little over half of the jelly bean. So I'm holding the jelly bean with the scrap cake, and then I'm crocheting it up together. So this is what I've got so far. it's working up pretty fast. I just went through my book, my stitch book here, it's 500 crochet stitches, the ultimate crochet guide. So I went and chose a stitch that I liked, and let's see. So the stitch that I liked is called the Puff Stitch Plates. So it's this one right here. So it has like little, I wanted something that would have double crochet in between. A majority of it would be double crochet, and then just have these little like puff stitches as designs. So it's kind of making these little like diamond shapes. So you have one puff stitch, and the next row is 2 puff stitches, and then the next row's 1, and you just repeat that all the way up. So I kind of wanted, you know, something that would add a little bit of texture to it, but not be something that was going to take forever. So I'm liking it so far. I think it's going to be really cute with the changing of the green color as it goes. So I have this one that was a lighter green, then it's went into this one, and then I have just gotten into this, it's kind of in between these two. It's a little bit darker than this one, but it's lighter than this almost like brownish color green. But that's going to be the top portion, and then the bottom portion of the rug is going to be just, you know, plain double crochet back and forth. And I am doing it width to the length. So the rug's going to be like this, you know, so the bobbles are going to go sideways. That didn't make any sense, I don't think. But it's working up really fast, and I am, you know, very pleased with it. And it, like I said, I really kind of needed it for the house, so that's kind of taken precedence over anything else, and that's what I've been spending my time on when I've been crocheting. Okay, so I'm going to get into a little bit of an update about kind of what's been going on with me. So if you're not interested in that, you can definitely click off, but if you are, then I'll go ahead and get into it. So I'm sure you guys have noticed that my videos have been very sporadic over the last year, and that's just mainly due to the fact that I just have not been feeling well. I've been having, over the last couple years, it's gotten worse. I've always had problems with my stomach, but over the last couple years it's definitely gotten worse, and then the last 6 months it's gotten significantly worse. So so much so that I basically spent most of my time just hunched over holding my stomach. So I've been to the doctor many times about it, and all they do is just give me new antacid and say this will cure it. So so my husband and I decided to start doing some research, and we started thinking that maybe I should cut some things out of my diet. So the first thing I tried to do was cut pork out. So I cut pork out, and it was a little bit better, but I was still having the same symptoms. So my husband's a combat medic, so he understands all that medical stuff better than I do. So he was doing a lot of research, and he's like, okay, I think we need to cut gluten out. So I completely cut gluten out of my diet, and things have significantly improved. I am basically pretty much back to normal. I don't have any stomach problems at all, unless I'm, you know, eating something that's extremely greasy, but, you know, that hardly ever happens. So my stomach issues are so much better. It has been very frustrating, and at some points very discouraging on trying to be able to find things that I can eat that don't have gluten in it, because if you don't know, gluten is it's a product of wheat. So wheat is in pretty much everything because they use it not only as wheat itself, but as a filler, as a preservative. So pretty much everything prepackaged at the store has wheat in it of some form. Gluten comes in different things. That is a wheat product. So being able to do our grocery shopping and find meals that I can eat and prepare at home has been a struggle. So I'm feeling better, but in the same point, I'm very frustrated and discouraged because I have been having so much trouble trying to find things that I can actually have. And pretty much, like I said, anything that's prepackaged, I can't eat. Even if it's not a wheat product, it'll have some sort of gluten in it as a preservative or a filler. So that's been a struggle, but you know, the struggle is worth it with me not having to be so sick all the time. So in the process of all of this, I've just not really wanted to do anything. I don't want to film. I really don't want to craft. I'll have these boosts where I'll just, you know, I'll want to pick things up and work on them, but it doesn't last very long. But now that I'm feeling better, I have been, you know, trying to get more crafting done, getting back into the things that I, you know, love to do. One of those things is crochet. I mean, I love to crochet, I love to sew, I love to do all these different crafts, but just have not had the desire to do any of them. Not had the desire to do anything, really. Because it's hard to want to do anything when you're hunched over, holding your stomach and you're not feeling well. And you know, when you do have to do things, it makes you irritable and all of this stuff. So that is you know, pretty much the main reason why I just can't hold a normal schedule like I used to. I used to be able to whip out a tutorial every week plus a podcast, and I just can't do it anymore. Even with me feeling better, I'm still having the problems with my elbows, especially when I crochet, and that's due to the fact that I did make full-length tutorials. So I was constantly, every time that I was awake and not doing something that I needed to get done around the house, I was crocheting, and it's caused damage to my elbows. My husband calls it tennis elbow. So I can't pick up a crochet hook more than a couple hours without having severe pain, and that pain lasts several days, up to a week. So that's another reason why I can't do it anymore. So I crochet when I can, and when I can't, then I do other things, not really craft related. So I have been getting into other type of crafts that don't require so much movement on my elbow, like wood burning and stuff like that, but I don't know how popular that would be for you guys to want to see. I'm not going to make any promises to have a set schedule anymore because I just don't know when I can do it. I will film when I can film, and when I can't, then you know, I can't. So my projects have significantly slowed down from where they were at a year ago or 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I would be whipping out things on a weekly, you know, basis, and I just can't do that anymore. And I find that when I try and force myself to do it, my slump gets bigger. It makes me not want to even look at yarn, more or less, you know, pick it up. So I'm not going to be forcing myself to to work on things when I don't want to work on them, or I have other things to be done that take precedence over that. So I hope that you guys understand. I still will be filming when I do have things to film, but I'm not going to sit there and force myself to crank out projects just so I can film them. That, you know, what is the fun in that? The whole point of having a podcast is to share what you're working on because you love working on it, not because you feel like you have to work on it. So at least I'll have a podcast at least once a month. I know that. Hopefully it'll be, you know, at least every 2 weeks like it has been. It definitely will not be weekly like it used to be, because there's just not enough progress weekly. I mean, I haven't filmed, I don't know how long it's been since I filmed the last one, but I've made more progress in one sitting than I have the entire month. So, and I have been paying for it with my elbows ever since. So like I said, I will at least be filming once a month. I can't give a certain date or anything like that, so hopefully, you know, you guys will enjoy the podcast when I do film and, you know, stick around. If not, then, you know, I understand, but you guys need to understand that we are more than just YouTubers. We have a lot going on in our personal lives, and I'm not the only one that has, you know, issues with being able to film on time and, you know, getting things done. So if you've stuck around this long and, you know, you're watching the podcast and everything, then you'll be happy to know that this is a secret giveaway. So I am not going to announce it because I want only the people who are still watching me to be part of this giveaway. So it is for, you know, the loyal subscribers that like to watch me whenever I'm filming, no matter how many times it is. So the secret giveaway is for, there'll be 3 winners. It will be for the Wizard Shawl pattern, and that's my personal pattern. I have a tutorial for it here on YouTube, but if you want the written pattern, go ahead and enter in the giveaway. So that's the pattern. I will try and pop in a picture if I have one. Our computer crashed a couple months ago, and I'm not sure whether I still have a picture of this pattern or not. A colored picture of this pattern or not. So but it is the Wizard Shawl. It is it's made, the one that I made is made with mandala, but you can make it with worsted weight or one skein of mandala, whichever you choose to do. It is a mixture of double crochet and puff stitches, so it's a beautiful pattern once it's worked up, especially if it's in variegated. I wish I would have remembered to bring it out, but I didn't. But so there will be 3 winners. Let's see, today is when I'm filming this is June 25th. I will be drawing a winner on July 1st. So what I need from you is to tell me, so I need you to leave a comment telling me what your favorite summer activity is. So don't say anything about entering the giveaway or anything like that, because it's a secret giveaway only for my loyal subscribers. So tell me what your favorite summer activity is in the comments below. I will use the YouTube random comment picker to choose a winner, and I will be posting that on July 1st. So you have a little over a week to enter. And like I said, there will be 3 winners. The winners will have to send me their email so I can send them the PDF version of the pattern. I'm going to try and do this every so often. I have lots of patterns that I have written, and I think that will be an easy way for me able to do giveaways, because it's not really in our budget to be able for me to buy things and ship it out, because shipping is so expensive now. So I think that this will be a way for me to be able to give back, and we're good all the way around. So I am also going to be working on getting my written patterns available for you to purchase. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I'll probably put them on Ravelry and also add them to our eBay, depending on how it is that I'm going to do. But I have tons of written patterns, and I know everybody asks me about them all the time, my tutorials, if I have written patterns for them. So I do want to work on getting that done, and that is, you know, something I could be spending my time on when I'm not crocheting, is getting all of my patterns typed up and everything. So if you would like to win the Wizard Shawl pattern, definitely leave me the comment of what your favorite summer activity is, and I will be drawing on July 1st. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, so we'll just have to see. I'll probably just draw it, and then I'll put the winner on the screen somewhere. Yeah, so I hope that everybody's having a great summer so far. It has been a very weird one here. We've had extremely hot weather and then extremely chilly weather all within the same month, and it's very, very awkward. So I think that's why my sinuses are so out of whack. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.